Hi everybody, here we are back working on the 2006 F450 Ford 12 valve Cummins swap. My new motor finally arrived. Here it is, 96 12 valve Cummins, built by Industrial Injection. I've already put a lot of my stuff on it now. Trying to get as much done as I can. It's got the exhaust manifold from PDI, high performance, for the common rail 12 valve. So it'll locate my turbo where it has to be for this Ford. It's got the fat shaft 6270 industrial injection turbocharger. 150 pound valve springs, titanium valves, fire ring head gasket, maul pistons that have the coated sleeve, well, the coated skirts. You see, it's got the billet tappet cover with the breather. Performance P pump on it that Industrial Injection built for me. I've already put my fuel filter back on it and all my fuel lines and everything. Put most of my valve covers back in place, which I'm going to remove this one here and show you. There you can see the ARP head studs. The great big valves that's in it, all the valve springs. I've already put my sensors in it. A water inlet and outlet, which also holds my alternator. I've still got to put the timing cover on it and water pump. On this one they used, let's see if you can see them, billet freeze plugs, and on the rear it uses this big freeze plug plate that holds the rear freeze plug in place. Well, as you can see, where my adapter plate from diesel conversions sits a little high, which I just took a flap wheel and a grinder and got it cleared out to fit. And they also, you can see there's an extra plate right here. They put the windage tray in it to keep the oil off the crankshaft, and I had to clearance it for the oil pan right here. It ain't perfect, but you know, it works. So I got the adapter plate installed, and I'm going with the Banks twin ram power pack intake for it, just to help with the EGT issues. So hopefully it'll all work out. I've still got a few more things to do to it. Got my throttle linkage in place, and my my fuel cutoff solenoids in it. The motor's supposed to be about 450 horsepower, maybe a little more. The motor comes with break-in oil from Joe Gibbs Racing. It's a 1550 conventional break-in oil. This motor's got a high lift tow cam in it because the weight we pull with these trucks. I've already put my motor mounts in. Well, my motor mounts are on it. I've got to, I'm waiting for my fuel pump block off plate to come because I'm using the electric pump that's in the frame on the Ford as a lift pump. I broke a fitting. Broke this little fitting right here today. That's my oil feed for my P pump and vacuum pump. I gotta go get one of those. And I gotta go get the timing cover gaskets so I can put my factory timing cover back on it, which I just got done painting it. It's still a little wet. So I gotta go get the new gasket kit so I can put that on today, or maybe tomorrow. We've got a new oil feed line coming for the turbo. I gotta get a 90-degree fitting due to where, if you notice, it sits right underneath the exhaust manifold, so I gotta get a 90-degree, go from here over here, so I can run my feed line back to the turbo. And I put my original turbo drain line back in the block and in the other motor mount, which they had this plug in this hole, so I had to remove that plug and put it in the back so I can put my drain in, because in the Ford you can see right here is where the starter sits, and it comes out to about right here on the starter, so you can't use this rear in the Ford when you do the 12 valve swap. I still got to drill and tap a hole right here to put my pyrometer gauge in so I can keep track of the EGTs, because if I get it too hot, I'm just going to avoid the warranty on it. This motor, even though it is a high performance motor, they still offer a 1-year unlimited mileage warranty on it, which it came with this nice shiny billet intake plate, which I'm not going to use just because I want to make sure I get as much fresh air into this motor as I can. So I plan on going to get that fitting so I can get my oil lines in place, so I can get my power steering pump installed, get the timing cover on it, and get my dipstick tube in place. And there's a very awkward thing you have to do to get this intake plenum to fit under the hood of that Ford, because the water fill jug sits right here and would cover this corner right here. So you have to use a coolant jug off of a 2002 Ford Taurus with the V6 and make a couple of brackets to make it fit. It uses the same size hoses and everything as the factory F450. I just gotta use a smaller coolant jug so it'll fit. I still gotta install my flywheel and pressure plate and all that. I gotta go get me a piece of flex pipe for my exhaust after I get the motor back in the truck and get all the drivetrain bolted back together. But I'm gonna try to get a lot of it done today, which I gotta run to town. I'm pretty well stuck now because I gotta get some more gaskets and stuff so I can finish getting this thing together, and I gotta go pick up the water pump. But that's it so far. Which the Spanx kit comes with these little plates so you can relocate your fuel line mounts, and this one bolts straight to the intake heaters, which you have to remove the heater grid out of your factory intake plate and install them in these two lower plates so you still have your intake heater. It seemed to work pretty good on another truck I put it on, and it did help a good little bit. So and which the head on this one's ported and polished, you know, so it should flow a little better and keep my EGTs a whole lot cooler than it was. Alright, I think that's about do it for right now. My next video I should have it sitting in the frame, and I'll probably have the electrical wired up on it and together, and I'll walk you through that and on how it's done on this 12 valve Cummins swap in this Ford. I think that'll be about it for today. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you.